Why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because I'm trying to explain to you guys not to believe the mainstream media when they tell you that the people are going to rise up and take over their country. If anyone ever tells you that they 30 or 40,000, that's how you know immediately they're because it's amazing to me how people still don't understand this, that was all astroturfed and it was all planned. The 40K thing is a huge fun. The Iranian people are a very proud people, okay? You guys don't believe me, here's more receipts. Look at this.
To show our support to the oppressed people of Palestine and to against Israel.
So, as we were doing interviews in the International Quds Day rally, an attack just happened in the building right across the street. People are chanting slogans. They are not afraid. They are standing right there and they are chanting slogans against the Israeli regime. They're chanting Allahu Akbar and to America.
Okay, why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because I'm trying to explain to you guys not to believe the mainstream media when they tell you that the people are going to rise up and take over their country. They're not gonna, bro. All we've done is strengthen their resolve. This war is stupid. It's like I'm the crazy guy here. Like, do I got to be the one to say, yo, this war is a bad idea? Okay? These people are not going to rise up and overtake the government. Some dumb thing in the chest it's scripted. Bro, shut the up, man. Shut the up, dude. Are you niggas? That's scripted. They bombed the building and they had everybody there at perfect timing so they could look like they're united. You idiot. Bruh, accept the truth. They got bombed and instead of running away, these niggas said Allahu Akbar, bro. Allahu Akbar! Like, do you not understand these different timing? Stupid. You idiot. You dumb. Have you on the Starbucks line. They call your name for your latte. Hey, Tim. Oh God. You'll get surprised when they call your name at Starbucks, man. You dumb. Meanwhile, you over here saying this shit stage. Got bombed. And instead of running, they said God is great. Bro. Allahu Akbar! Like, what? I'm not trying to go to war with that get bombed and cheer. I'm good. That's stupid. Oh, look, and Max whatever still says, all right, Cuck. Steve, bro, you're an idiot. Let me look at your dumb chat history. Let's see. This said they killed 40,000 of their own people and Iranians want a new regime leader. We need to destroy Iran, bring stability in the Middle East because they fund all terrorist proxies. They are an evil regime that are against American values. They killed 40,000 of their own people and Iranians want a new regime leader. Yo! Hey, Max, run shit. It's very clear that you don't run your brain because you just gave the most brain-dead analysis ever. Do you actually believe the Iranians killed 40,000 of their own people? Do you actually believe that? Huh? Chad, do I gotta roast this right now and show you some idiot? The 40K thing was a lie? Are we really about to bake this dumb right now and debunk this shit once and for all? All right. I'm about to educate you guys because so many people don't understand this shit. So let's go ahead, man. Hey, Max, you're about to get embarrassed in front of, what, 6,000, 7,000 people live, you dumb. You're giving all the stupid talking points the Western media gives. So let me go ahead and educate your dumb.
I got my $7,000.
I'm gonna get everything ready for y'all.
I don't give a shit about.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get everything ready for you guys so we can go through this real quick. We're gonna debunk this 40,000 once and for all, dude. I'm getting everything together for you guys real quick because it's amazing to me how people still don't understand this, that was all astroturfed and it was all planned. The 40K thing is a huge fly. So let's see here. So I'm going to show you some stuff, okay? So as you guys know, we're talking here about this 40K lie, right? So what basically the United States and the Western media says is like, oh, they killed 40,000 of their own people, blah, blah. The reality is it wasn't that high, okay? The Iranian government claims 3,000 people were killed. I don't believe that either. The U.S. government tries to say it's 40,000. I don't believe that either. I think it's probably somewhere in the middle. But for them to say that 40,000 were killed is absolutely ludicrous, okay? That's a lot of people, number one. Number two, if they actually killed 40,000 people, there's no way that they wouldn't have risen up, as people claim, and fought back against their government. They didn't, okay? That is a propaganda lie. How do we know that it's a lie? Because you go ahead and you look at someone like Mike Pompeo on January 2nd, as the protests were starting to heat up, what does he say? Happy New Year's to every Iranian in the streets, also to every agent walking beside them. Bro, what? Then Trump admits, okay, and he admitted this 2 days ago, the U.S. sent a lot of guns to arm Iranian protesters who believe the Kurds took them. Oh, it gets better. Also, what ended up happening was when these protests were happening, the United States was smuggling Starlinks into Iran so that the protesters can communicate. Because when the protests were going on, that's why the Iranians shut the internet off. They shut it off so that the operatives and the CIA operatives wouldn't be able to communicate with each other, and that actually made the protests subside. If you guys don't believe me, look, we have an oversight committee where this gets admitted. Look at this.
Learned through a hearing of a House Oversight Committee in U.S. Congress today that an organization called the National Endowment for Democracy, which is funded by the U.S. government, which exists to promote regime change around the world by sponsoring the so-called civil society groups, media, activists, training, journalists, funding political parties, has now identified Iran as its top target, and its president today was asked about an apparently secret State Department program by the ranking Democratic chair of this House Oversight Committee to smuggle Starlink into Iran, and he declared that the National Endowment for Democracy had already deployed 200 Starlink terminals into Iran.
We've been investing in communication
Hear it from our own government.
tools over years that allow for information to be sent into Iran, even when internet connectivity is blocked. We specifically began supporting the deployment, the operation of about 200 Starlinks early on.
All right, you know what? I'm going to interrupt you. We better not talk about it. Okay, so.
This National Endowment for Democracy president's name is Damon Wilson. We've reported for years on the endowment and their subversive activities around the globe. And now we know how deeply they were involved in these riots. Wilson also took credit for the death tolls and said they're working with their partners who have networks inside Iran to basically increase the official death toll to anywhere between 17,000 and 30,000. This is while Western mainstream media resorts to monarchist sources close to Reza Pahlavi.
Completely jacked up the number. Now, the other thing I also want you guys to realize is a lot of this stuff was astroturfed here as well. Look at this. They even admit.
At destroying both its government and its economy. The riots were instigated by the as confirmed by Mike Pompeo, who foolishly let the cat out of the bag, and further supported by the confessions of rioters who were arrested and interrogated. All of this is yet another attempt to manufacture a pretext for war against Iran, with the ultimate goal of opening its economy to Western corporations and installing a Zionist-aligned puppet regime to secure hegemony in the region.
Like they did with the Shah in the 70s.
Now, if all of this isn't enough for you
or in the 50s, excuse me,
to believe that the were behind this, just listen to media admit it.
So look at this, guys. This guy right here says, I also see the behavior of the protests now. On one hand, I see a lot of boldness. I also see they're very compartmentalized. The material also comes out nicely, which means they receive training. What? Receive training? Yo, what? There's probably some training here. There's no way this is purely natural on its own. And that's okay, and that's not wrong. And therefore, there's some guiding hand here. Don't forget that Iran is a nation of tribes and ethnic groups. Why is that important, guys? Because they could create sectarian violence this way. There's Arabs, Persians, Balochs, all types of people. From foreigners to Balochs to Awazis to Arabs and non-Arabs. So there's a very strong link here. Hold on. So there's a very, very strong link here of intelligence type work. But ultimately, the Iranian people have to do it. Reported tonight on Channel 14, foreign actors are arming the protesters in Iran with live firearms, which is the reason for hundreds of regime personnel killed. Everyone is free to guess who is behind it. And even Donald Trump admitted it 2 days ago. Bruh.
Now, in response to this regime...
Now, let's tie this all together. Scott Bessent purposely crashed the Real, okay, to kick off the chain of events. And I will show you guys this real quick here, because I got receipts, not just talking shit.
Ravaged the Iranian economy. Just listen to Scott Bessent talk about the impact of these sanctions today.
there are Treasury sanctions. And if you look at a speech that I gave at the Economic Club of New York last March, I said that I believe the Iranian currency was on the verge of collapse, that if I were an Iranian citizen, I would take my money out. President Trump ordered Treasury and our OFAC division, Office of Foreign Asset Control, to put maximum pressure on Iran, and it's worked because in December, their economy collapsed. We saw a major bank go under. The central bank has started to print money. There is a dollar shortage. They are not able to get imports, and this is why the people took to the street. So this is economic statecraft. No shots fired. Things are moving in a very positive way here.
Inflation
Do I need more receipts? Now let me go ahead and put this all in a nice bow for you guys so you understand what the happened. I showed you guys all the different pieces of evidence. Now I'm going to put this all in a nice bow. Okay? Now that we're free and we can say what the we want to say, these are lying. So let's go through this line by line. December, Scott Bessent and the Treasury crashed the rial, aka the Iranian dollar. When they crashed the currency, people start to protest in January. Amongst these protests are legitimately angry people that are like, yo, what the hell? The currency's crashing, blah, blah, blah. This created the opportunity for protest agitators, right, to get involved and start problems. These protest agitators were recruited by foreign intelligence services and armed with guns. Not only were they armed with guns, they were armed with Starlinks. Why were they armed with Starlinks and guns? To create havoc and then also to use a Starlink to get internet because the Iranian government shut the internet down. Mike Pompeo, the former Secretary of State and director of the CIA, admitted that was out in the streets with the Iranians, providing them arms, Molotov cocktails. They were bombing mosques. They were killing people. Like that wrestler that they talk about, the 18-year-old wrestler, he killed 2 cops with a machete. Trump mentioned him on his speech yesterday, which is interesting, but he didn't talk about why he got hung. He got hung because he literally tried to do an insurrection and kill 2 cops with a machete. When they tried to activate the Starlinks, the Chinese and the Russians helped the Iranians shut it down. Okay? They jammed them. And we got proof, from you guys can see here, under oath from the Oversight Committee admitting that they did, in fact, smuggle Starlinks in. So we have Trump admitting they gave them weapons. We have Mike Pompeo admitting Mossad was underground. We have Starlinks being smuggled. We have Israeli media admitting that this was an intelligence operation and that these guys were really good at what they were doing and they had to have some kind of guidance. It's like, how much more proof do you need that this entire situation was AstroTurf? It's a lie. Give me 7s in the chat if you learned something new there. This was all AstroTurf, chat. All AstroTurf. If anyone ever tells you that they killed 30 or 40,000, that's how you know immediately they're. That was a failed coup attempt because they wanted the people to rise up and overthrow the government and they couldn't do it. And I used testimony, the words of our own president, the words of our own Treasury Secretary. I showed you guys the receipts and I showed you guys the media. What more proof do you need? I showed you the former director of the CIA and State Department. I didn't make that shit up. You guys saw it with their own they say it themselves.